The Law of One, Book 2, Part 4. Questioner: Thank you. Does a unit of consciousness, an individualized unit of consciousness, create a unit of the creation? I will give an example. One individualized consciousness creates one galaxy of stars, the type that has many millions of stars in it. Does this happen? Ra: I am Ra. This can happen. The possibilities are infinite. Thus, a logos may create what you call a star system, or it may be the logos creating billions of star systems. This is the cause of the confusion in the term galaxy, for there are many different logos, entities, or creations, and we could call each, using your sound vibration complexes, a galaxy. Questioner: Let's take as an example the planet that we are on now, and tell me how much of the creation was created by the same logos that created this planet. Ra: I am Ra. This planetary logos is a strong logos creating approximately 250 billion of your star systems for its creation. The, shall we say, laws or physical ways of this creation will remain, therefore, constant. Questioner: Then what you are saying is that the lenticular star system, which we call a galaxy, that we find ourselves in with approximately 250 billion other suns like our own, was created by a single logos. Is this correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner: Since there are many individualized portions of consciousness in this lenticular galaxy, did the logos then subdivide into more individualization of consciousness to create these consciousnesses? Ra: I am Ra. You are perceptive. This is also correct, although an apparent paradox. Questioner: Could you tell me what you mean by an apparent paradox? Ra: I am Ra. It would seem that if one logos creates the intelligent energy waves for a large system, there would not be the necessity or possibility of the further sub-logos differentiation. However, within limits, this is precisely the case, and it is perceptive that this has been seen. Questioner: Thank you. I'll call the lenticular galaxy that we are in the major galaxy, just so we will not get mixed up in our terms. Does all the consciousness in individualized form that goes into what we are calling the major galaxy start out and go through all the densities in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th? Or are there some who start up higher in the ranks so that there is always a mixture of intelligent consciousness in the galaxy? Ra: I am Ra. The latter is more nearly correct. In each beginning, there is the beginning from infinite strength. Free will acts as a catalyst. Beings begin to form the universes. Consciousness then begins to have the potential to experience. The potentials of experience are created as a part of intelligent energy and are fixed before experience begins. However, there is always, due to free will acting infinitely upon the creation, a great variation in initial responses to intelligence energy's potential. Thus, almost immediately, the foundations of the, shall we call it, hierarchical nature of beings begins to manifest as some portions of consciousness or awareness learns through experience in a much more efficient manner. Questioner: Is there any reason for some portions being much more efficient in learning? Ra: I am Ra. Is there any reason for some to learn more quickly than others? Look, if you wish, to the function of the will, the, shall we say, attraction to the upward spiraling line of light. Questioner: I am assuming that there are 8 densities created when this major galaxy was created. Is this correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is basically correct. However, it is well to perceive that the 8th density functions also as the beginning density or first density in its latter stages of the next octave of densities. Questioner: Are you saying then that there are infinite number of octaves of densities 1 through 8? Ra. I am Ra. We wish to establish that we are truly humble messengers of the law of one. We can speak to you of our experiences and our understandings and learn in limited ways. However, we cannot speak in firm knowledge of all the creations. We know only that they are infinite. We assume an infinite number of octaves. However, it has been impressed upon us by our own teachers that there is a mystery-clad unity of creation in which all consciousness periodically coalesces and again begins. Thus, we can only say we assume an infinite progression, though we understand it to be cyclical in nature and, as we have said, clad in mystery. Questioner. Thank you. When this major galaxy is formed by the Logos, polarity then exists in a sense that we have electrical polarity. We do have electrical polarity existing at that time. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. I accept this as correct with the stipulation that what you term electrical be understood as not only the one Larson stipulated its meaning, but also in what you would call the metaphysical sense. Questioner. Are you saying then that we have not only a polarity of electrical charge, but also a polarity in consciousness at that time? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. All is potentially available from the beginning of your physical space-time. It then being the function of consciousness complexes to begin to use the physical materials to gain experience to then polarize in a metaphysical sense. The potentials for this are not created by the experiencer, but by intelligent energy. This will be the last full question of this session due to our desire to foster this instrument as it slowly regains physical complex energy. May we ask if you have 1 or 2 questions we may answer shortly before we close? Questioner. I am assuming that the process of creation, after the original creation of the major galaxy, is continued by the further individualization of the consciousness of the Logos, so that there are many, many portions of the individualized consciousness creating further items for experience all over the galaxy. Is this correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. For within the, shall we say, guidelines or ways of the Logos, the sub-Logos may find various means of differentiating experiences without removing or adding to these ways. Questioner. Thank you. And since we are out of time, I will ask if there is anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or to help the contact. Ra. I am Ra. This instrument is well adjusted. You are conscientious. I am Ra. I leave you, my friends, in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one Creator. Adonai.